Hey guys, let's get more news about F1, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Max Verstappen makes major Red Bull declaration after preseason concerns. Max Verstappen suffered a surprise retirement in Australia last year following a bizarre fire, but is hopeful to perform well in Melbourne to kickstart his title defense. Max Verstappen has made a major Red Bull declaration ahead of the season-opening Australian Grand Prix, by revealing that the team has ideas how to solve its problems. The Milton Keynes-based outfit endured a concerning preseason test in Bahrain, where it encountered multiple issues with the RB21 and completed the fewest laps. Verstappen also raised concerns about Red Bull's chances following testing, with the Dutchman not being the title favorite heading into the 2025 season. Lando Norris is the bookies' favorite to win a maiden F1 driver's title, rather than a fifth consecutive crown for Verstappen. However, ahead of the first race at Albert Park, Verstappen has revealed renewed hope that Red Bull has understood how to solve its issues after analyzing substantial data. "It is great to be getting back to racing again and officially starting the season," said Verstappen. "It is good to see the first race of the season starting up in Melbourne. I drove my Formula One debut race here, so there are a lot memories and we always see the passionate fans come out here to support. In Bahrain, we learned a lot from testing, but there is still a lot more work to be done. We have ideas about what we can do and how we can take on what we learned at testing, so we will see how we go when we start driving on the track. We have been analyzing the data and working on where we can make improvements and can work to optimize things further. We are ready to get started up again and I am excited to get the season underway." As for Liam Lawson, the New Zealander is heading into his first F1 season as a full-time driver, with all of his previous 11 appearances having been as a replacement for Daniel Ricciardo. It means that Lawson has benefited from a complete preseason, something he has previously never experienced. This weekend is a big one for the 23-year-old, given that the race in Melbourne is the closest to his home country on the calendar. Because of this, Lawson is treating the season opener as a home race, and is keen to make a strong start to his career as a Red Bull driver. "I'm looking forward to my first weekend with the team," said Lawson. "It'll be my first weekend in Melbourne as well, so there's a lot to look forward to. Myself and the team have prepared a lot for the season, which has been great. It's been my first official preseason in Formula One, so it's nice to bring all the hard work we've done into Melbourne for this weekend. The simulator work we've done has been really important, but also the time I've spent with the engineers over the winter. It's a new crew for me, so I wanted to build relationships with the team ahead of the start of the campaign. It's obviously really exciting to get the season underway and, of course, have my first Australian Grand Prix. It's close to home, so it feels like a home race for me. I can't wait to get started as an Oracle Red Bull racing driver, and I'll give 100% all season for the team and the fans. That starts in Melbourne this weekend." Meet the stunning wives and girlfriends of Formula One drivers. Formula One is easily one of the most popular motorsports in the world, featuring some of the greatest drivers to navigate a Grand Prix. International celebs like Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Michael Schumacher are only a handful of the famous athletes driving F1's many impressive circuits. While there's plenty written about the drivers, one area of their life that tends to go unnoticed is their significant others. Of course, some drivers' wives are more famous than they are. Still, far more wives and girlfriends, WAGs for short, a word commonly used in football, which has many unwritten rules of being a WAG, aren't as well known as the drivers they're with, which is a shame, as that group of women includes many impressive people. There are some drivers who choose to keep their wife or girlfriend away from the public eye, but occasionally, a post to Instagram, TikTok, or another social media platform will reveal who's dating whom. F1's WAGs are important people in the drivers' lives, and many of them are fascinating on their own. Granted, not every driver is dating someone or is married, but plenty of players do, and several got hitched soon after they started racing professionally. Here are a few of the most amazing wives and girlfriends of some of the best Formula One drivers in the world. Pierre Gasly is a French driver who competes for Alpine in Formula One, and in 2020, he won the Italian Grand Prix with AlphaTauri. Gasly began racing karts as early as 6 years old and is now considered to be one of the best F1 drivers in the world. Gasly began dating Francisca Kika Gomez sometime in or before 2022, having made their relationship public when they were spotted attending a 2022 football match in Paris, France. Gomez was also spotted cheering Gasly on at the 2022 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. She's often found at various races cheering on her boyfriend, but she has a career of her own. The Portuguese model has appeared in a plethora of popular periodicals, including Lux Woman and Christina. She's also modeled for Drope and works as an influencer. Gomez boasts nearly 1 million followers on Instagram and over 675,000 on TikTok, where she often posts funny videos of herself, her friends, and her puppy, Simba. Would Red Bull collapse if Verstappen left? F1 veteran provides thoughts. During the F1 Nation podcast, a comparison was made between Red Bull Racing's potential future after Max Verstappen's departure and the situation at Benetton when Michael Schumacher left the team. Benetton had been highly successful with Schumacher, but after his move to Ferrari, the team's performance significantly dropped. Grosjean was asked whether he thinks something similar could happen at Red Bull once Verstappen eventually leaves. The 10-time podium sitter stated that it could well happen before moving on. Every champion is, of course, a very good driver. There's no doubt about that. It's more than just being a driver, though. Being a leader, someone who can pull the team in the right direction whenever it's needed, and motivate everyone is crucial, the former Haas driver began. Earlier in the podcast, Grosjean indicated that he considers Verstappen one of the best drivers of all time. This year, when you look at the calendar, it's going to be very difficult physically for humans in Formula One. Winning races requires having someone who always gives 100% and does the best job possible. It's going to make an even bigger difference than before, the Frenchman said. Max Verstappen will be hoping for another race victory this weekend as Formula One returns from its winter break. The excitement will kick off next weekend with the Australian Grand Prix, and fans will once again be treated to all the action. As always, every session throughout the weekend will be available for live updates and coverage right here on Jeep Blog. And you, fan? What do you think about Verstappen's situation? Write to us in the comments.